Terrifying archaeological discoveries around the world. You must see at least once. Welcome to ancient history, where thousand-year-old mysteries are revealed through layers of earth and the traces of time. Dear friends, the journey to uncover the past has never been a simple one. It's a voyage through space and time, where each discovery leaves us in awe and sparks countless questions. Have you ever wondered why some ancient skeletons are found without their heads? Or what mysterious force has kept the liquid inside a Chinese princess's tomb from evaporating or decaying for thousands of years? Curled up fossils, ancient treasures hidden away for centuries. It's as if they've all been waiting for us to decode their secrets. Today, thanks to advancements in archaeological technology, the doors to the past are slowly being unlocked. Yet the strange thing is, the deeper we dig, the more vast and mysterious the ancient world becomes. So come along with ancient history on today's fascinating journey as we uncover some of the strangest and most remarkable archaeological mysteries ever discovered on Earth. Nearly intact, 16th century mummy of a man, buried alongside a mouse. In the world of archaeology, there are discoveries that simply make people say, "That's interesting." And then there are those that leave even scientists silent in thought. The story of a mummy that has existed for more than 400 years, still almost perfectly preserved and carrying secrets that remain unsolved to this day, is one of them. It comes from the small town of Guano in Ecuador. Back in 1949, researchers there discovered a mummy dating to the 16th century. From the very beginning, the find drew major attention because of the body's exceptional state of preservation, far beyond what anyone expected. But the story became truly fascinating years later when a French forensic pathologist, Philippe Charlier, began a deeper investigation. Now, Charlier is no stranger in the scientific world. He has studied many historical figures, even the remains associated with Adolf Hitler. So when he turned his attention to this mummy, many believed that secrets buried for centuries were finally about to be revealed, and they were. The first thing that amazed experts was the mummy's near-perfect condition. This level of preservation wasn't by chance. The region's naturally dry and cool environment acted like an ideal preservation chamber, preventing the man's body from decomposing over time. Thanks to these conditions, scientists were able to closely examine details about his health, something that isn't possible with most mummies. Then came an important discovery. According to Charlier's analysis, the man showed signs of a chronic illness, rheumatoid arthritis. This autoimmune disease causes joint swelling, pain, and gradual loss of mobility. Living with such a condition centuries ago, when medicine was still limited, must have been extremely difficult. But what stood out even more was his age. He is believed to have lived to around 85 to 90 years old, an exceptionally high age for that time period. This raised new questions among researchers. Did he belong to a higher social class with better living conditions? Or did he follow a unique lifestyle that contributed to his longevity? Just when things seemed intriguing enough, another detail changed everything. Right beside the mummy, experts found a mummified mouse. Yes, a mouse, not gold, not jewelry, but a small animal buried alongside the man. This discovery immediately sparked a wave of questions. Was it a coincidence? Part of a ritual? Or did the mouse carry some symbolic meaning that we still don't understand? To this day, no one has a definitive answer. The identity of the man remains unknown. The connection between him and the mouse is still unclear, and it's precisely these unanswered questions that make the story even more compelling. You see, history isn't just what has been recorded, it's also what has been left behind. The mysteries without answers, waiting quietly for the day they are finally uncovered. So what do you think? Why was this man buried with a mouse? Was it an ancient ritual, a spiritual belief, or simply a strange coincidence? The two-headed giant corpse, 12 feet tall, washed ashore in Patagonia, South America. Throughout human history, numerous ancient texts and records have mentioned the existence of giants who once walked the earth. From the giant Goliath in the Bible to the Norwegian giants and Greek myths, these stories have always sparked our curiosity. But perhaps the most haunting and controversial name is Cap d'Oie, the two-headed giant, a mystery that has intrigued and unsettled the world for centuries. According to legend, Cap d'Oie belonged to the Patagonian giants, a tribe from the southernmost region of South America, located between Chile and Argentina. This area, just about 620 miles from Antarctica, has long been regarded as a mythical land, filled with tales of the Patagonese giants. They were described as being twice the height of ordinary humans, roughly 12 to 15 feet tall. Even the famous explorer Ferdinand Magellan caused a sensation when he claimed that he and his crew had directly encountered these giants during their circumnavigation in 1520. The chronicles of Antonio Pigafetta, the official journal of the voyage, only added to Patagonia's mysterious reputation. As for Cap d'Oie, legend says that in 1673, Spanish sailors captured him and imprisoned him on their ship. Standing an incredible 12 feet tall with 2 heads, Cap d'Oie was a creature unlike anything humans had ever seen. He fought fiercely to escape, but was eventually killed by a spear through the heart. Afterwards, Cap d'Oie's body was embalmed and exhibited in various locations, from South America to Europe. In the early 20th century, his mummified body appeared at Burnbeck Pier in Weston, where it was displayed for 45 years before passing into the hands of private collectors. Today, this strange corpse is reportedly preserved in Baltimore, Maryland, owned by Robert Gerber and his wife. However, Cap d'Oie's origins are shrouded in contradictions. Some accounts say he died on a beach in Paraguay, where locals embalmed him before he fell into the hands of an English captain. Other sources claim the Spanish paraded him around the world as a spectacle. This confusion has made the story of Cap d'Oie both captivating and hard to believe. Of course, modern scientists have also weighed in. They suggest that if Cap d'Oie were real, he might have suffered from a rare form of conjoined twins called dicephalic parapagus, 2 heads sharing 1 body, combined with gigantism, which would explain his extraordinary height. But can science truly explain the existence of a nearly 12 feet tall mummy with 2 heads? Another notable detail is that Cap d'Oie's name is linked to Phineas Taylor Barnum, the 19th century circus impresario famous for exhibiting bizarre creatures to attract crowds. This connection has fueled suspicions that Cap d'Oie might have been an elaborate hoax created to profit from public curiosity. Yet, despite the skepticism and lack of clear evidence, Cap d'Oie remains a legend without resolution. He stands as a symbol of the big question: did giants really exist on Earth, or is it all a centuries-old deception? What do you think? Is Cap d'Oie living proof of a lost species, or just a cleverly crafted trick to deceive human curiosity? Share your thoughts in the comments. You might just help unravel one of history's greatest mysteries. A magical treasure worth more than gold among 5,000-year-old remains. The magical treasure I'm referring to is an ancient crystal dagger unearthed from the Montelirio Tholos tomb, located in the Guadalquivir Valley, Spain. This dagger is not just a weapon, but a 5,000-year-old artifact, a testament to the remarkable advancements in craftsmanship of prehistoric civilizations, particularly in its material and intricate detailing. The dagger measures 8.5 inches long, with a blade crafted from transparent crystal and a handle made from meticulously carved ivory. Creating such an artifact 5,000 years ago, when tools and techniques were rudimentary, is an achievement that continues to astonish archaeologists. Crystal was not only a precious material, but also held profound significance in ancient cultures, symbolizing vitality and a connection to ancestors. Tools and weapons made from crystal carried deep spiritual and symbolic value for these early societies. This discovery is particularly significant because crystal, being brittle and difficult to work with, was an uncommon material for crafting weapons during that era. Typically, ancient tools and weapons were made from flint or other hard stones, making this crystal dagger exceptionally rare. It was not merely a weapon, but a symbol of wealth and power, indicating that its owner was likely an elite member of society. Researchers from the University of Granada, the University of Seville, and Spain's Higher Council for Scientific Research conducted excavations at the site from 2007 to 2010. In addition to the crystal dagger, they uncovered a range of other treasures, including 10 arrowheads and 4 sword blades, all with crystal blades. While the handles were made from more common materials like stone or wood, the crystal blades remained extraordinarily rare and finely crafted. These findings suggest a sophisticated crafting process, likely passed down through generations, evolving from stone toolmaking to the advanced technique of shaping crystal. Notably, the crystal dagger is believed to have been crafted from a single block of crystal, measuring at least 8.7 inches long and 2 inches thick. Shaping such a large piece of crystal without breaking it required exceptional skill. Researchers speculate that this technique was developed over generations, involving careful surface polishing to prevent cracking during shaping. Beyond the weapons, the tomb contained the remains of 25 individuals, including several women and one man believed to have died from poisoning. Their bodies were scattered around the tomb, accompanied by offerings such as ivory, jewelry, pottery, and an ostrich egg. These items not only reflect the wealth of the tomb's occupants, but also shed light on the religious beliefs and rituals of ancient people. The discovery gains further intrigue when considered in a broader cultural context. In medieval France, knights embedded crystal fragments into their swords, believing it granted them strength. In Tibet, crystal was thought to aid the recovery of wounded warriors. Thus, this crystal dagger is not only an archaeological treasure, but also evidence of the mystical significance attributed to this material across diverse cultures worldwide. The 7.5 feet giant sword in an ancient Japanese tomb, a mystery from the Kofun era. If one day you heard that a sword nearly 7.5 feet long was excavated from an ancient tomb in Japan, what would you immediately think of? A weapon wielded by legendary giant warriors, or a sacred treasure linked to gods in mythology? At the Tomio Maruyama burial mound in Nara Prefecture, archaeologists truly discovered an unbelievable artifact, a giant Dakoken sword alongside a bronze shield-shaped mirror. These two treasures not only stunned experts due to their unusual size, but also sparked a series of fascinating theories about the beliefs and rituals of ancient Japan. The sword found was more than twice the length of typical swords from that period. Measuring a staggering 7.5 feet long, it was almost beyond what an ordinary human could wield. The blade was curved like a serpent, reminding researchers of the ancient snake worship, a significant element in the spiritual life of the region at the time. Because of this, many believe the sword was not meant for battle, but served as a ritual object, used to ward off evil spirits and protect the soul of the deceased from dark forces. Isn't it intriguing to imagine that perhaps only the giants of legend could have held such a strange weapon in their hands? In addition, the bronze mirror found was equally mysterious. Unlike the small round mirrors commonly discovered in tombs from the same era, this one resembled a shield, standing about 25 inches tall and 12 inches wide, the largest ever found in Japan. Its surface was intricately engraved with beautiful patterns that held deep ritual significance. It is believed the mirror was not just a reflective tool, but a gateway connecting humans with the spiritual realm, where the gods reside. What fascinates many even more is the sheer scale of the Tomio Maruyama burial mound itself. This colossal Kofun mound was built in the late 4th century, measuring roughly 282 feet in diameter and about 33 feet high, enough to demonstrate the immense power and status of the person buried within. Given its massive size, many theories suggest it could be the resting place of a figure of extraordinary stature, regarded as a guardian deity or a dominant ruler. But the story doesn't end there. Around the tomb, many other burial goods were uncovered. Decorative mirrors engraved with images of deities and animals, bronze artifacts, tools, and everyday items. Together, they paint a vivid picture of the spiritual and social life of ancient Japanese people, clearly reflecting the importance of faith and ritual. However, the most captivating fact is that the wooden coffin inside the tomb has yet to be opened. This means that the mysterious treasures and crucial information about the powerful individual inside remain hidden, for now. To this day, the research team from the Nara City Burial Heritage Center and the Kashihara Archaeological Institute in Japan continue to excavate, hoping to uncover the true identity of the tomb's occupant. What do you think? Are the giant sword and the unusual mirror simply symbols of power, or were they genuinely created to serve a god, or perhaps a giant? Personally, regardless of the answer, this discovery opens a door back to Japan's mysterious past, where the towering Kofun burial mounds still guard thousands of unsolved secrets, and also stands as evidence that giants may very well have existed, even if we have never seen them with our own eyes. The princess mummy who remained beautiful after nearly 4,000 years. Can you imagine someone who has been resting underground for 4,000 years, and yet, when unearthed, their appearance still stuns the world with its beauty? Sounds like a legend, doesn't it? But this is a true story, one that shocked the international archaeological community back in 2003. If you're still skeptical, Come with me as we travel back in time to one of the most mysterious places on Earth, the Lop Nur Desert, located in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China. This isn't just the setting of strange tales and lost travelers. It's also the final resting place of a mummy once dubbed the most beautiful princess in the history of Asian archaeology. It all began at the Xiaohe Cemetery, an ancient burial site tucked away deep in the desert. In fact, this area was first excavated back in the 1920s. However, because technology at the time was still very limited, the exploration was abandoned halfway through. It wasn't until more than 60 years later that archaeologists returned to continue the unfinished journey. And then, something miraculous happened. The team discovered a particularly unusual tomb buried deep beneath layers of sand and time. When they opened it, they were speechless. Inside was the body of a woman, believed to be a princess, so breathtakingly beautiful, it left everyone stunned. Unbelievably, after nearly 4 millennia, her body remained intact. Not only had it not decomposed, but her skin still retained its elasticity and softness, as if she had just fallen asleep. Most striking of all was her face. A high, delicate nose, soft, thin lips, and an elegant oval face. Preserved with such detail it resembled a finely crafted wax figure, except it wasn't created by any artist. This was real beauty, untouched for 4,000 years. But the story doesn't end with her appearance. What truly puzzled scientists was the result of her DNA analysis. According to the findings, her genetic makeup wasn't entirely East Asian. Instead, it showed a mysterious mix, an unusual blend of both East Asian and European ancestry. This raised a major question. Could it be that thousands of years ago, there were already migrations, interactions, and cultural exchanges between East and West? Is it possible that today's Xinjiang region once served as a crossroads for ancient civilizations? After surveying the entire cemetery, archaeologists identified around 330 tombs. Unfortunately, more than half, specifically 160 of them, had already been damaged over time. Harsh weather, invasive sands, and possibly even human destruction had all taken their toll. And so, in the vast sea of desert sands, the Xiaohe princess is not just a mummy, she is a whisper from the past, a silent message about a once thriving civilization that now lives only in fragments. What do you think? Was her stunning beauty the result of ancient embalming secrets? Or is there something even more mysterious at play? And how many more treasures like this still lie buried in silence beneath the earth? Hard to say, isn't it? But if you ask me, I believe there are many more, waiting to be discovered. The 4,500-year-old beauty who carried other people's bones into her grave. Have you ever imagined that more than 4,500 years ago, ancient people didn't just bury their loved ones, they also kept their bones in such a unique way that it astonishes us today? Recently, British archaeologists uncovered a very special grave that reveals a strange burial culture, completely different from what we know now. The first grave was found in a field called Windmill Field, Stockton-upon-Tees. It belonged to a woman nicknamed the Death Beauty because of her mysterious allure and beauty. But what shocked the researchers even more was that inside the grave, along with her skeleton, they found a skull and bone fragments from at least 3 other individuals. Even more surprising, dating tests showed her remains to be about 4,500 years old, while the other bone fragments were older by roughly 60 to 170 years. This means these bones were carefully kept and passed down through generations before finally being buried with this woman. That's not all. Another grave was discovered containing an array of unusual and luxurious burial goods. Stone axes, bronze items, bone plates, ivory, and even a musical instrument made from someone else's bones. Details that send chills down anyone's spine and spark endless curiosity. Professor Joanna Brooke from the University of Bristol, who studied these finds closely, said, "These discoveries indicate the existence of a strange, mysterious culture among some ancient British communities, one that not only buried their relatives, but also kept other people's bones as precious objects." Did you know that while we today consider human bones sacred and tend to avoid them, ancient people had a completely different view? They cherished these bones so much that they kept them at home, buried them under floors, and even displayed them like treasures. This culture was most widespread during the Bronze Age and is thought to represent a form of deep respect and remembrance for the deceased. What's even more remarkable is that these bones were not just buried as keepsakes, but were carved into musical instruments or other tools, showing the creativity and sacred meaning behind each item. They served as both mementos and powerful symbols, connecting the worlds of the living and the dead in ancient belief systems. From these discoveries, we gain insight into Bronze Age people. They were neither afraid of nor disgusted by human remains. Instead, they saw them as part of the soul and a precious heritage to protect. Although this culture faded thousands of years ago, it still echoes through each bone fragment and burial object, inspiring us to appreciate the values of the past. Have you ever wondered how you might feel living in that time? Seeing your loved ones kept in such unique bones and special objects? Could we ever fully grasp the deep meaning behind these customs? Or were they simply ways to express love and bonds that transcend death? Many mysteries remain for archaeologists to uncover, but through them, we see that human culture and attitudes toward death are diverse, rich, and full of surprises.